We go to Washington.
We don't give a fuck.
His Royal Highness makes his debut.
Did you really think we cared?
King Charles comes to D.C.
Why?
Speaks in front of Congress.
Okay.
About a myriad of things, including the assassination attempt of Donald Trump.
What the fuck?
Once again. And says why that is a bad thing.
It is what it is.
I'm Jazz Borganzo on this, and yet in his own country of England,
Don't say it.
groomers and third world scumbags run loose.
Fuck.
And all the while, he's giving high praise to Islam.
Please, Pittsburgh! Nothing to see here, please!
But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Borganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. And gonna step outside the realm a little bit to jolly old England. Yes, you know, that wonderful, wonderful place where you have, let's see, Big Ben, London Bridge, Benny Hill, and of course we have King Charles. Well, King Charles, formerly Prince Charles, who was married to once the lovely Princess Diana, you know, God rest her soul, made his way to the United States. He made his way to the United States to first time debut in the U.S. He comes to Washington, D.C., speaks in front of Congress. And of course, they love him. Standing ovations all over the place, you know. But didn't they have a problem with no kings? Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But he spoke about a myriad of things, including the assassination attempt, once again, of one President Donald Trump, and says why that was a bad thing. And we'll talk about bad things in his own home country. But here we go. This, coming out of Breitbart, King Charles III condemns the White House Correspondents' Dinner assassination attempt of Donald Trump. Such acts of violence will never succeed. While speaking to Congress on Tuesday, King Charles III condemned the recent assassination attempt, yes, the most recent, of course, I'm sure there'll be many more, of President Donald Trump that took place in the vicinity of the White House Correspondents' Association dinner. During his speech, the King of the United Kingdom noted that they were meeting with, quote, in times of great uncertainty. He also spoke about how a shooter had opened fire at Washington Hilton Hotel on Saturday. The same Washington Hilton Hotel, go back to 1981, where Ronald Reagan was shot. And thank God he lived, because all hell would have broke loose after that. Anyway, while at the correspondence dinner was taking place, pointing out the shooter, quote, sought harm to the leadership of the United States. Quote, ladies and gentlemen, we meet in great times of uncertainty. This time of conflict in Europe and the Middle East, we pose immense challenges for the international community, and whose impact is felt in communities length and breadth of our own countries, he said. Quote, we meet too in the aftermath of the incident not far from this great building that sought to harm the leadership of your nation and to ferment wider fear and discord, he continued. Let me say with unshakable resolve, such acts of violence will never succeed. But let's hear from King Charles himself.
We meet too in the aftermath of the incident not far from this great building that sought to harm the leadership of your nation and to foment wider fear and discord. Let me say with unshakable resolve, such acts of violence will never succeed.
Notice how everyone in Congress, full house, stands in ovation. The hypocrisy. The Department of Justice charged Cole Thomas Allen, of course, the latest assassination attempter, 31, the man accused of opening fire at the hotel, with attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Breitbart News reported. Allen is also accused of charging through a magnetometer while armed in an attempt to breach the ballroom where the president and other Trump administration officials were present. Allen is also to be reported to, quote, had a manifesto, which he does, details his intention to target officials in the Trump administration.
My understanding of Islam is that it warns that to deny the reality of our inner being leads to an inner darkness which can quickly extend outwards into the world of nature. This, then, is why the wisdom and learning offered by a sacred tradition like Islam matters. The Islamic world is the custodian of one of the greatest treasuries of accumulated wisdom and spiritual knowledge available to humanity. And yet, so often, that wisdom is now obscured by the dominant drive towards Western materialism. The modernist ideology that has dominated the Western outlook for a century implies that tradition is backward-looking. This is far from true. It looks forward. Think what could be achieved if mothers and fathers, the teachers in madrasas and imams, all sought to demonstrate to children how to translate Islamic teachings into practical action.
So King Charles comes to DC, speaks how great your country is, tremendous leadership, and the assassination attempt, yes, will never succeed because you're such a great nation. Now, I said that. He might have said that in his, congressional speech. I don't know, and I really don't care. The fact of the matter is that while he says violence will never succeed because of how great our nation is, in his own country of England, yes, let's go to wonderful, jolly old England, you have groomers and third world scumbags, knuckleheads, deviants, dirtbags, douchebags, and demons running amok in London as we speak right now. How many stories have come out of women getting raped? Young girls getting raped, kids getting injured, men getting stabbed. And yet, what does King Charles do? Give high praise to Islam during Ramadan. Mentions nothing about, the birth of Christ, Easter, the resurrection, and while Christ is king. No. We can't talk about that. We're giving high praise to Islam and the wonderful Muhammad. Dude, as everyone knows, the royal family has no real power anymore. They don't. You have a prime minister, a worthless prime minister, Queer Starmer. Yes, I'm calling him Queer Starmer, who says nothing's wrong. How many charges were brought to Parliament in regards to groomers that were dropped? No, we can't have that. Because London is such a wonderful city and England is such a wonderful country. How dare you chastise and mock our democracy? This is the hypocrisy. Massive amounts of hypocrisy. I mean, truckloads being backed in of hypocrisy that goes on in this country and says, la, 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 nothing's going on, like Frank Drebin, as the whole country burns down to the ground. How many Brits have talked about on TikTok, on X, on Instagram, of how dangerous the city of London is, how dangerous surrounding suburbs is, how dangerous UK is right now. And yet, King Charles sees nothing wrong. If I'm mistaken, and if King Charles has come out and chastised the violence that's going on in his own country, please leave a comment below. Leave a link below, because if I'm wrong, great, I'll own up to it. But I don't think I am. I don't think I am. So he comes to DC, and I caught a couple of his, little bits here and there, and the overall, okay, that's great, But at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything. It's just blah, blah, blah. But you notice how Congress stood in standing ovation. The entire body of Congress stood in standing ovation for a king. But yet, weren't they protesting just a few weeks ago? No kings protest as they slammed Donald Trump in calling him a dictator and a fascist. But yet a actual real king shows up in Congress and they give standing ovations, including one Ilhan Omar, who was taking pictures. Fucking clowns, man. This is what we have in DC. Fucking clowns. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. When you see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.